Okay, so in this video I will show you how to play There Is a Light That Never Goes Out by The Smiths. And there's a link in the description to the chord sheet and tabs. So you can download that and follow along there. And the chords will be up on screen. So we start, and I've numbered the chords in the pre-chorus and the verse and the chorus as 1, 2, 3, as you can see here in the intro and pre-chorus, and when we get to the verse, there will also be 1, 2, 3, 4. And that will make it easier for me to explain how to play it. So let's start with the intro. The first chord there, a D minor shape. And I won't be saying anything about the right hand, just listen to live versions and the original song to figure that out by yourself. So, we start with the D minor, into the F shape with an open high E, to a G. And in this song it's easier to do the G with the pinky on the 3rd fret, on the high E, and the ring finger on the 3rd, on the low E, and the 2nd fret on the A string, with your middle finger. So that's the intro. And as I said, I won't be saying anything about the right hand stuff, and that's because just play whatever that sounds good. I don't think I play it exactly as Johnny Marr does, but it's pretty close and it sounds good, so I think it's okay. Okay, and then we have the verse. Basically, the verse is, I look at the verse as 2 chords. The first chord there and the 3rd chord, this one. You'll be jumping in between those, and in between them there's a A minor 7. Not sure if that's what Johnny Marr does, but it sounds good, and it gives you a little time to put your to change chords. And then at the end you have the F shape, the chord number 9 to 10, and then the 11th chord, 12th chord, the G, last chord there. So I'll play it first once, and then I'll play it slower afterwards. So from the 7th to the 8th chord, just a quick lift off, and then into the F. And then the 10th chord is also very quick. 1 upstroke, I believe, and then into the C chord on the, that's the 11th chord there. So I'll play it slow and I'll say the chords, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe that makes sense to you. I hope it does. So it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's the verse. And then you play the pre-chorus, the intro part. And then we're into the chorus. And I'll do the same there. I'll play it through. And then I'll play it slowly afterwards and saying the number of the chords. So it goes like this. So I'll just play it slowly while I say the chord. So at first it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And just listen to the song. Live versions are very good. I'll link to the one that I used the most to figure the song out. Listening to that, you'll figure out the song structure, when to play each part, and you'll hear the strumming patterns. So that's the chorus, and remember, if there are any questions to finger placement or anything, then just leave them down below, and I'll check them out. And now let's get into the two tabs that I've made. The first one is the second guitar mid-riff, as I call it, or it's on the bottom of the chord sheet page, but that's basically the clean electric guitar riff that comes roughly in the middle of the song somewhere. It goes like this. I see Johnny Marr holding this chord when he plays it. Your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the D string. Then you put your middle finger on the 2nd fret on the G string, and on the B string you use your index finger on the 1st fret. Then you just play as the tab says. And if you're holding this chord, you have to lift off your index finger, so there's actually no reason to hold it there. So what I do is that you can play it like this, just these 2 fingers. And then on the open strings, that's easy to figure out. And then into the what I've called the arpeggio riff, and this is probably the hardest thing about the song. And you can see that there's a blue line going through the tab, and it says open string on B and 2nd fret on the A string. That's because in one of the videos he played it like this to get into the arpeggio riff. The arpeggio riff starts after that blue line. So this is how he got into it. It's just the verse chords in the beginning there. And then he plays the 0 and the 2. And then it goes into that part. When Johnny Marr plays this riff, it's usually in the outro. It's very easy to get into it. You basically play the first chords from the first verse, and then the second guitar mid-riff, and you do that 2 times, and then you jump into the arpeggio riff. So I'll show you how to get into the arpeggio riff at the ending. It goes like this. And then the arpeggio riff starts. So let's just get into it. I'll try, and this part of the video is actually filmed another day than the stuff you've seen before. I figured out that I was playing it slightly wrong. I figured out that I made some mistakes. So the outro riff that I play in the intro of this video is actually wrong, and this is more correct. First, I'll try to play it up to speed. I'll probably mess it up, and then afterwards I'll play it super slow, and then I'll have a red dot over the tab shown on screen, showing which notes I'm hitting. After that, I'm going to try to explain my finger position, and I'll try to make that as easily understandable as possible. Okay, so here we go. I'll try to play it at full speed. So that was at full speed. Now I'll play it super slow. And if you check out a lot of the live videos and the small snippets on YouTube that you can find where Johnny Marr plays this riff, you can tell that he's playing it actually differently every time. So I'll try to link to the two that I used the most to figure this out. Okay, so there's one note I'm quite unsure about. When I look at how he plays it, I'll show you. It's when you come to this part. And when he plays the next part here, it looks like that it goes to this 3rd fret and then open here again. Maybe. And he might be using a different fingering, so it might be. And he might go to this, so he can use his ring finger on the 3rd fret there. So what I'll do is that I'll actually write that out as a tab as well, as an alternative version, and have that linked in the description as well. And I can tell that he also plays it differently in another video. So when you come to this part, and then you go to the C chord, and then he goes upwards like this, and then he does some kind of chords. So the chords that I figured out he might be using, I don't think that's correct, is just the C with the pinky on the 3rd fret and your index finger on the 1st fret there. And then I just lift off my index finger and go to a G with an open high E. And the ring finger on the 3rd fret on the B string. So it would sound like from the F in the arpeggio riff. And then back to. So that's just playing the same thing as the tab, but when you get to the C, stop there, don't play the high E, then just go up again, 2 strings, and then to that chord, and then to that G chord. Okay, so I'll now try to do the explanation of the finger placement of this riff. So here we go. It's on the first hammer-on the G. I place my index finger on the 1st fret of the B string and the middle finger on the 2nd fret, the hammer-on. So basically I'm hammering on both of those strings, but I'm just hitting the G string. And then I place my ring finger ever so slightly on the D string to mute it. And then you just play. And when you get there, you take your ring finger and you place it on the 3rd fret there. And then you hold this and you play. So then we have this. You don't actually have to put your ring finger down. I actually hold it in the air, I believe. And then to the open A. So then you're just holding your index finger on the 1st fret of the B string. And now I'm a little lost, but let's see. Then I believe you go to, yeah, and then you go to a power chord. So basically you're just holding your, or I'm holding my middle finger on the 2nd fret of the D string. And then I play it like this. I take my I take my middle finger to the 2nd fret of the A string, and then my ring finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. And then you open up the lift off the middle finger, and then you do the same with the G string. And don't let go of the fingers at the same time. I did that and it sounded a little off. So you play and then release. Or you play and then lift off your middle finger and still holding this down, and then you lift off. If you play it like this, sounds a bit off. It's the small things, you know? And then you get to the hammer on again. But then you hammer on with the F chord or F-shaped chord that has the high E open. And you hold that down and you play. That part. And then the A string, 3rd fret, one time, and then into C chord. And then do that a little fast. Wait a little, add that. And then you go to, I believe this chord shape is called a C9. But at least it's your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, and then the ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. And then take your ring finger up to the 3rd fret of the low E, and then open G string. Then put your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, and then open on G again. And that's where it loops, basically. It goes around. Back to this part. And yeah, the outro there, it's just the intro chords. And then you can end on A minor upstroke, or the 7th fret on the D string and the 5th fret on the G string, which it does in a lot of the live show videos. And you can go crazy on that chord if you're finishing the song. Also, there is a 3rd guitar, not quite sure in the original recording. It's quite hard to hear this guitar. Not sure if it's even there, but it is played live, and it sounds a lot like the synth melody that is played. But there is a guitar I've heard that does these accents, sort of like that, and I can't really figure out where his finger placement is, but I think it would sound good on the 5th fret, on the G and B string. So if you're like 3 guitarists, one could probably play that. It might be on the well, if you're not thinking about the capo, it's the 13th and 12th fret. And it could also be 14 and 13 on the D and G string. Or maybe it's with the 12th as well on the B string. Not sure, but if you listen to the outro of the song on the record or on Spotify, you can clearly hear that there's some kind of guitar. Maybe it's another instrument. I think it's a guitar. Not sure if those are the correct frets, but I believe it will sound good. Okay, so that's the whole song. Hopefully by looking at live versions and having the tab and the chord sheet in front of you, you'll be able to figure this one out. So if you found this video helpful and would like to see more music content, I am going to take this channel into a more songwriter and how to write song type of thing, but by requests from my subscribers and viewers, I'll do lesson videos like this. So I'll probably do more Gorillaz and the Smiths, which have been the 2 bands people have been asking for the most. And I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers this year. That's because when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll be able to monetize my channel. And when I reach that goal, I'll be giving away this Zoom G5 multi-effect pedal board that I don't use anymore to one of you guys. And a super big thanks to everyone that has subscribed. You don't know how much that means to me. It means a great deal. I'm very happy, and if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, then please do so. It would make my day. Now, thanks. Have a good day. Bye.